We're live. Retro Talk Forum back. We had a week off. Super Bowl. We weren't gonna come on and disturb people's Super Bowl celebration or whatever. Last show we saw that we had 2 weeks ago was don't want to bring it up, but the passing of a great Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace to him and his daughter and the other 7 people that was on that helicopter too. Well, introductions. I am Black as African. You can find me here on Retro Talk Forum podcast. We come on each and every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 Central. My YouTube is Black as African, Black _ AZZ African. And I can't get it together right now. My IG is under the same name, so I'm gonna pass it off to my other half.
It's your boy Hot Dog 18 back in the building with the new shout out to Beard Jedi. Shout out to Beard Jedi. Yeah, you hooked us up. Unexpected package came in the mail, and I love it, man. I love it. But Hot Dog 18, you can find me on IG. The same thing. No YouTube channel. Don't even know if I'm gonna get one, man. I'm just happy to be where I'm at. I'm just happy to be here where I'm at. On this great platform with my brother.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
No doubt.
I'm gonna pass it out to our special guest.
Go ahead and introduce yourself, special guest.
What's up? This is Scott from DefyNewYork.com. I know some of you follow me, some of you watching, and I appreciate all the support. And I do it for guys like you. People that really appreciate the real history of footwear and music and fashion and all the other stuff. So that's it. That's who's checking in.
Hey man, we appreciate you for coming through and
Yes,
spreading your knowledge of the nostalgia stuff that we love to talk about, man.
I appreciate you guys having me.
Oh, no doubt, man, no doubt. I got something in sneaker news or sneaker history. First off, I normally just go through it and just say what it is, but I'm going to do a special one for this one here. People that know me, they know what I like as far as Jordan, my favorite Jordan silhouette. All I can do is just get right into it. But first, I wanted to kind of show some stuff that I got that kind of commemorates what shoe came out on this day 30 years ago. So we have this here. As you can see, he got the great 5s on.
My favorite colorway of the 5.
Oh, mine too, bro. We here on that one. That's my favorite. That's my favorite word.
That's my favorite.
Got that one.
Did you get? Did you get the Fresh Princess?
I did. I didn't poke holes in them yet.
Oh yeah, I put holes in mine. I had to.
I
had to.
I want to double up. I want to triple up.
I want to double up too.
Beautiful.
But yeah. I want to say the prices are not that bad on them though.
Nah, they're not that bad. But when I got them for retail, and then we started dropping below retail. And I was like, maybe I should pick up. Hey, you know what? I'll hold off. And then now the pairs are starting to disappear, at least in my size, and they're starting to creep up a little bit. So I'm like, maybe I need to buy a pair before they disappear. And
the leather on these was real good. They got that. They got the real soft leather. Yeah, they did this one right.
Real good.
They definitely did. I don't think we're gonna see Nike Air on that colorway ever again, and not anytime soon.
No, I don't think no time soon. I'm gonna see if you remember this.
Wow, man. Yo, I remember back then. I mean, I know it was pretty much everywhere at that time period. Jordan, any expensive Nikes, jackets, people were giving you a compliment. You kind of had to like side eye them. Like, all right, man, I appreciate the love, but I need to keep it moving because you might just get robbed. Like that was people nowadays talk about how bad everything is and how and let me get. I mean, it's bad. There's a lot of crime. Some areas are worse than others, but back in those days, all the areas that are crime ridden now were 10 times worse. Like it was,
Right.
you know, I mean, you guys know, you lived through it. I lived through it. It was crazy. Like it was a different, like, so it half the, not even 1/3 of the things that happened back then happen now. People be like, oh my God. People would create hashtags and all. But I mean, it was back then, it was like, all right, you saw it and it kind of like, you expected these things to happen. You were on guard for that stuff to happen, you know?
Right.
So,
Right.
but yeah, that's an iconic. I can't believe you have that. I don't even have that.
Also, if you are into the Soul Collector books that came out like in the mid 2000s or early to mid 2000s, this one here should be your Bible when it comes to all Jordans.
Yeah, that's classic.
I
don't have any of the print stuff like that. Nah. I'll show you. I'll show you what I got. I got a lot of these. What I need to like, I've been stuff that I gotta scan. All these old catalogs. I don't know if you can see it. This is
what is that? I see like it's like a
Nike catalog spring 2002.
Oh, okay then.
You know, like all the old catalog stuff. I like when Soul Collector started coming out with the magazines and all that. I liked it, but I'm like, I got so much magazines already. I'm like, do I want to start adding to that? You know what I'm saying? Like to the piles of stuff. But Soul Collector does an amazing job though of photography and stories and all that. So that's definitely that's a great issue to have.
Oh yeah, I damn all of them, man. But to me, this one here, and I think it was the issue 4 that has the black background and just the red Jumpman on it. It was,
yeah.
I like that one too. And then it shows all the shoes.
Man, so beautiful.
That needs to come out. That needs to happen this year. That needs to happen this year. I'm praying on it.
I pray too.
I'm praying on it.
Even if they don't get the font of that 23 right, I would still be all over.
Yes, I was still bound.
Yes,
I would love it. I would love to have that block font, but hey.
Yeah. We'll probably get it on some whack collaboration that nobody can get. You know, they'll get that one right, but they won't get it.
So I got this book. It's another Jordan book. It was a recent pickup that I had maybe about a month ago, and it just shows all the history and on the Jordans. I'm just showing everything that I got that I can pull out so far of the shoe that actually came out 30 years ago today.
You know, it's funny. I had that that Wheaties thing. I used to have it. Like my ex-girlfriend at the time, she was into all that arts and crafts stuff, and so what we would do is we would go buy plexiglass from like Home Depot or whatever.
Right.
We'd cut custom frames for it, and we put that in a custom frame, and I had it hanging up, and then after a while, just I don't even know what happened to it, but yeah, that's classic. That's just a classic picture. The shoe, because you don't see much stuff with the Jordan with the purple and teal 5, you know.
No.
It's funny that you pulled that out because I had that shirt on yesterday.
I was just gonna say you had the shirt on.
Yeah.
Actually, it's funny. I have, what is this? I'm gonna see if you guys remember this bootleg shirt. It's a bootleg Jordan shirt, but remember this?
Oh yeah, I remember that. Got the big 23. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. With the fade, with the what do you call it? The tie dye, the old school tie. It's from 1990, 1989. Yeah.
You know what I wish I would have kept? My T-shirt that I got when I was a part of the flight club, the Air Jordan Flight Club.
Oh, you were part of that?
Yeah. I was too. I had the poster and everything. Yeah,
I had everything.
That poster was huge. Yeah. I had the shirt too, man. I wore that thing out.
Let me see if you remember this.
Oh man, that's what came with the shoes. Yeah, man.
And see, you know what? A lot of people didn't remember that the Jordan 5s came with this book, and it came with a hang tag.
Yes, and
a lot of people didn't remember that.
The black hang tag, and it was crazy.
Exactly.
I had the only reason I really really completely remember is because I had an original pair like late 90s, early 2000s, and it was the purple and teal 5 I had with the black hang tag, and it showed all the you know what it was made out of.
Yeah, the
synthetic leather, and I was like, oh shoot, it's made out of synthetic leather, you know, and then it came back to me because I had spoken to a former Nike employee who was in production back then.
Right.
And he was telling me that they were making the shoes to compete with Reebok because Reebok had that really soft synthetic leather, and they were like, they couldn't figure out how. And so what you see on the OG Jordan 5 is really what they had created to compete with Reebok.
I never knew that.
Yeah, even on the Jordan 5, and I think you saw them on the Agassiz, and a lot across a lot of their shoes that had the synthetic leather, but they were like, we could not figure out. They were like legit scared of leather, like not like any crazy technology. They were just like, we can't recreate their treatment for their leather. And I'm
right.
Wow. So yeah, I love all those details, like all the little things that came with the shoes back in the day.
But do you remember this picture right here?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I remember that picture.
But a lot of people
I think he's like, man, stop showing all this stuff, bro.
But what I'm getting at, a lot of people didn't know that this was a prototype.
Yes, because it got the tongue, the
exactly.
Well, you know what though? The argument on that was that that it might have been, and I think a designer had told me this. I've spoken to so many people over the years. But someone told me that they put it on the tongue for protection because it had that coating on it. So they actually were using that sticker to protect it. But the I guess the argument to that is, well, why does it have a Jumpman logo on a sticker or on something that's covering it?
Well, the thing is, me looking at it, it looks like the Jordan flight tag from the 4s, and then they just stamped it on there. That's what it looks like.
Unless it's so weird, man. Like those little details, like you can come up with all these hypothetical things, and it's like, unless you speak to the people that were there photographing it and who were involved on the project, it's hard, to really get a definitive answer. But I think I've had this discussion before, and I think it was to protect the tongue, but I don't know that for 100% fact. So
show that up close, Black. Like, show that in the camera. So
show that.
My thing is, so what are they protecting the tongue from, though? It's 3M.
Just like, how the reflective material back in the day, I mean, it was so soft, it used to not flake off, but it would be prone to like cracking and
the 3M, like the 3M.
Yeah,
it would crease up real bad, and like you said, if you had it for a while, because that does look just like how they put the flight tag on the tongue
on the 4s. Yeah.
And but see, I wonder who has that shoe. Like, what did they do with that shoe after they took that picture? You know what I mean? Like, is that in the vault somewhere, or somebody's got a rare gem somewhere? Somebody, yeah, man. You remember, I don't know if you were on eBay in the early 2000, 2001, 2002, when all those rare prototypes were showing up, like all these shoes that you're seeing now were showing up for like a couple $100.
Yeah, like they were just getting them away.
Basically. Even I spoke to Steven Smith, who's now at Yeezy, and he told me, he's like, he'd be on eBay and he'd be selling shoes off and nobody was really buying them. I'm like, are you kidding me? How did I not find your eBay page? You know what I'm saying? But then again, I usually search out my own size, not really searching out, random sizes.
Yeah. Since you showed something bootleg, let me show you something right quick. Then I'll move on to what I was doing.
There it is.
Hold on, they got the white one. What a white one at? I just saw the white one. No, they didn't have the white. Just the red and black. Yeah. And then I know you remember those right there.
Oh yeah. Those the solo flights, the bounds, man, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You warm fuzzies, it just transports me back, to being in those stores.
Hey man, we love doing that. We love taking you back in the time machine, man. I got one more book, this one here, which I don't have the cover, but it does have what I was going to show. which are these.
Bro.
And you can also see, you know,
Got
they
the white laces on the
air
5.
flight.
It doesn't have white laces on the 5. Is that white laces on the 5? On the black? No, I'm sorry. It was black. They're black laces.
Yeah, it's black.
Yeah,
It's just
you see
the plastic netting from behind the tongue.
Yeah.
On the tongue.
But I say all that to say this, that this shoe released 20 years ago, 30 years ago, I'm sorry, on this day. And it's just so happening that they retroing this shoe this year. So,
man, yo, listen, when those dropped back in 2000, it was January 2000. I know I said this story before a lot of people, but the 2005 actually holds a lot of sentiment to me. Well, for one, the Jordan 5, outside of the Agassiz, the Jordan 5 is probably my favorite Jordan of all time. That and the 4, it's close, neck and neck. But the purple and teal 5, that. So anyway, but back in 2000, my grandmother was still alive. She actually she had purchased a pair for myself and my father, and I went there, release date, and there was nobody in the mall. Nobody. Like,
wow.
I still remember, you know, when I brought them home, and just the feeling. They felt quality. They reminded me of the original, and I bought multiple pairs of the white, black, and red 5, like multiples of that one. I had one pair of black and silver, but I didn't wear them as much. You know, I had them, and then the first time I did wear them, I was going to college, and I was in an art class for the summer. I think they came out. They came out in like May, I want to say, or was it May? The black silver 5 of that year, and then I hadn't worn them for a couple months, and then I'm like, you know what? I'll be indoors. I'm gonna break them out. That's the day they said, you know what? We're gonna go out for a hike up the hill and paint on a hill, and all the grass is wet. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, man.
And oxidize them soles, baby.
And then the netting got yellowed shortly after that.
Yeah, it don't take long for that to happen.
Mm-mm.
I forgot one more book.
Hold on a minute, bro. We got 10 in the chat, man. We got our shot. We kind of getting ahead of ourselves, bro. We got to slow down, bro. We got 11 in the chat, man. You know, we appreciate everybody coming through. I saw Q the Queen was like, you know, it's crazy how everything is more expensive now. None of that bonus, you know, sugar honey iced tea comes with the shoes. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, a lot of stuff did used to come with the shoes back in the day. You know, booklets, pamphlets, you know, hang tags, and we all know, man, we never get what we ask for. And then you got Red in there talking about the 3M. You know, Red is our local shoe restore. You know, so he gets real technical with the ins and out of the shoes. And he was like, you know, the 3M is like a powder coating on the 5s. It can't rub off. You know what I'm saying? So
the 5s now, though, I don't know what they did to the tongue on the 5s. It's like
they're not the same.
It's like glossy. It's thick. It's like, how do you mess the tongue up? Like, how did that happen? Like, all right, the shape's been messed up for a while. You know, the materials. Now the tongue, one of the most definitive characteristics of the shoe, and now you can't get that right. Come on, man.
It does have a nice 3M glow to it, but you know, like you're saying, how you the texture of it is not the same.
I think what they more worried about with the 5s is the oxidation of the clear outsoles. So once they like on that 2016 pair that I got, what they do, they put that blue tint on it to kind of slow down the oxidation.
Yeah.
Well, to me, it kind of gives a character. You know, you're supposed to wear your shoes anyway, but still, you know, give us this shape. Give us that shape. That shape right there. And I saw a picture of the 5s that's coming out this year. The shape is all off.
Yeah, it is. It's
especially the toe box. Especially the toe box.
But when have they given us a shape that we want anyway?
Like maybe 20 years ago.
Exactly. Like, so you know, it's like, you know, what can you do? We got our sponsor Beard Jedi in the building, man. Shout out to Beard, man. Hey, we appreciate you, Beard. go check out Live Heavy Clothing, man. That's our sponsor right there. Use Retro Talk, man, for a little, save you a little coins, man. So,
facts.
we got BX in the building, 313, Red, Q the Queen, Throwback, and Chris Neely. So, man, we appreciate y'all rocking with us, man. Thank y'all. Appreciate
Chris,
y'all.
man, Chris got some good stuff too. I know that. He got some good stuff.
But I am through with the Jordan 5. Like I said, it's coming back out. I'm gonna get me a pair. Because I just like fives, and anything that comes like this in OG form, I gotta have it. So
yes,
it's only right because that's my era. So
that's it.
1990. 1990 was a good year for sneakers, though, for real.
Yes,
it was a good year.
I've argued this with so many people. Like I say, for me, 88 to 91. Or even 87 to 92 is like my favorite era for sneakers.
Oh yeah,
because so much, man. Like I say, after 92, like around 92, I started wearing Tim's. Like the not the field boot, the hiking boot, and then I started wearing Fila, and then that kind of evolved into like the Converse and the Vans and Puma suedes. There was a short time where I was kind of not really into like the newer Nike styles of the time. And, Jordan was kind of on his way out at that point. Like by 94, he had the 10s had come out. And, then by 95, when he came back with the Jordan 11, I definitely sweated that shoe. The 11, I was all over the 11. The 12, I was not a fan of. I can appreciate them. I like them. I wore them. I've owned them. I've owned the original and all that stuff, but it's not one of my favorites, the 12. But the 11, and it's funny because the 11, for whatever reason, like the newer retros are not fitting me right. Like they're crushing my pinky toe.
Yeah.
Like really bad. Yeah. The black red 11 is not as bad as the last one, the white and black, but I'm at the point now where it's like if I can't wear it,
exactly,
I'm not gonna own it.
Exactly.
Hey, it's about comfort now.
Exactly.
It is.
Old man feet.
Yes, sir.
I can't do that anymore. And like I said, I think, I don't know what's going on behind closed doors. I've spoken, I have friends that work at some of the brands, and I have I know people, and I've spoken to so many people over the years, and you hear the stories about why certain things don't come out the way they should, and it really boils down to who's working on a lot of these projects. Like if you got people that are not knowledgeable about the community and not knowledgeable about like the original shoe and the historical significance of certain colorways and getting shades right and shapes right, you're not going to get a proper retro, and then that can basically make or break a shoe. And then what happens? Oh, they're gonna next time, like with the Agassiz, people didn't want to order those Tech 3s anymore because they flopped at retail. And so when they came out again, not many people carried them outside of Nike.com. So, and it wasn't the shoe's fault. It was that you screwed up the first retro. Like whoever did that was like it was ridiculous. Like they got rid of the flaming tennis ball. The color blocking was off. The color was off, so you can't do that. Like you really have to pay attention to even the smallest of details.
Smaller details, exactly.
We're watching. Well, why even back? I mean, it's pointless.
So you're right about that, man. You are definitely right about that.
It's crazy.
They always cutting some kind of corner. They're not, they're not doing everything exactly to the T. And I think it's more than just Nike doing that, because when they brought that Iverson back out, they had the DMX in it. They didn't have the separate chambers like they did on the OGs. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
What's funny? I don't know if you guys remember this, but I want to say maybe 2003, 2004, when they brought the Reebok pump Court Victory pump back. They didn't bring it back with a functional pump. Like we couldn't pump it up. I was shocked. I was like, what was it? It's a pump shoe. Why would you?
Yeah.
It was not.
And to me, the quality wasn't on point on that shoe either.
Nah, it was. But I'll tell you this though, it was The quality wasn't on point. The shape was a little bit, but the comfort was there. But
Oh,
then
was
when
it?
they re-retroed them with a functional pump, the comfort wasn't there, but it looked. I don't know. It's like they can't knock it out. They do knock it out of the park sometimes, but you know, it's
Hey man, you asking for a lot now. You asking for a lot. We gotta X out one thing now. You asking for a lot now, buddy. Come
Here's
on
the
now.
thing. Here's my thought process for it. It's like nowadays. See, back then they brought shoes out for a function. Now nobody is hooping in those shoes. Nobody is doing anything, any kind of exercises or anything athletic wise in those shoes. They just for show now. So they're like, okay, well, we can cut these corners because they're not really. It's not a functional shoe anymore. It's just for style.
That's like my I think my 20th anniversary or 25th anniversary bring back pumps. I have to pump that shoe up like 20 times just to hear it say,
yeah.
you
know, it's like you sitting there pumping it. You're gonna be like Popeye after a while, man.
Because the 2004 pump bring back was really good.
That was the best one.
That toe box was like a Timberland boot. It was like crazy.
Yeah.
They didn't get the shape right on that, but the pump
worked perfect.
So well, functioned like the original.
Oh yeah. But now you fast forward to 2009 and then the recent 2012 13s.
Nope. No good.
Nah, they didn't. I mean, I got it, nostalgia purposes, but the pump don't work. So,
well, I got that Pilates collaboration of the Reebok pump, and that pump works good. I mean, that thing feels pretty good.
Maybe it's a hit and miss, man. Maybe it is. It's a hit and miss. You got the good batch.
Yeah, I guess so. I got that good.
But what you got in hip hop history though? Move on. Let's move on to.
I used to have vinyl. I used to collect vinyl, and then I live. I'm in New York. I was living in Freeport, and we got hit with Hurricane Sandy, and we had gotten hit by Hurricane Irene the year before, but there was no water in the house, so I was like, whatever. And then I left my vinyl in the garage, and that didn't work out too well for the second time, and it was like just. All the covers were destroyed. Everything was done.
Oh,
we're talking about 4 feet, 5 feet of water, and we're talking about people's there were boats floating by the house and stuff, and it was bad. It was bad. So I still had my CDs. So I'm like, you know what? So I do have, I have like an extensive amount of CDs. I try not to, the CD quality is good to me. Good enough. It's compact. It doesn't take up as much space. And I have some rare stuff. I try, I have a lot of original rare stuff, West Germany pressings and Japanese pressings and all that stuff. I mean, I got some stuff, like Beat Street. I got Breaking and Entering when they did the in Japan, they reissued it for the first time because supposedly the soundtrack was only given out to people that worked on the film or, but I got a lot of stuff. I would even I want to buy new stuff.
Right.
I love A$AP Rocky. He's one of my favorite artists. But
I got a story to tell you about that. But go ahead.
There's just so after a while, it's like with everything, how much more am I gonna buy this stuff?
You DITC for real, huh?
Oh yeah, man. Like I just you gotta understand. That's why when I did the website, I was like, you know what? I can't just do sneakers. It's got to be everything. That's why I didn't name it like Sneaker Central or anything.
Exactly, because it's based on one thing.
BX is like, for those of you who don't know what DITC is, that's digging in the crates. You put your vinyl in the crates, and you digging through the crates looking for the record. So that's what DITC means.
And that's the thing.
Hold on for a minute, Scott. Scott. I don't want you to spill the beans just yet on everything that you got going on. Let me let Hop get into the hip hop history section of our show.
Yeah, well, for today, my bad. For today, 27 years ago today, you got it. You want to guess at what came out 27 years ago today?
We are in 1993. Right, 1993. So
yes. Yep.
I'm trying to think what came out in 93. I got Fat Joe.
It was a kind of like a jazz hip hop group that released their first album.
But the Far Side? Was it the Far Side?
Not the Far Side.
No,
they from New York.
They're from New York. Jazzy.
Yeah.
And their first album, it was their debut album.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
It wasn't like the Bush Babies or something, was it?
Nah.
Diggable Planet. Diggable Planet.
Oh, okay, I have that too.
Yeah, Reaching a New Reputation of Time and Space.
Oh wow.
That came out 27 years ago today on this day.
Now I feel really old.
Because hey, I'm cool like that. You know what I'm saying?
Cool like that.
I'm fat like that.
You like that? I'm chill.
Yeah.
That was classic. That was.
But Ladybug, man, Ladybug, she was like, to me, she made the group.
Yeah.
Her flow.
Oh,
bruh. Her flow was like ridiculous.
They brought it though to that real hipster. Like they were like it was a lot of the music was jazzy around that era.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very polished. That was a very polished record right there. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. I'm just, like I said, my son and my wife are going to come in here. I know this is not conventional for most interviews, but for those that don't know, we just moved into this house, so we're a little under construction here. And
congratulations on moving into your new house, man.
Yes, thank you, man. I appreciate it. I'm going to take some of these shoes out of here.
Take your time, man. Take your time.
Yeah.
Now, Beard said Ladybug's solo album was different.
I don't even think I heard her solo.
I haven't heard it either. Different in what kind of way, Beard? Was it like a good way or a bad way? Because I think when they came out with their second album, you start to tend to see her. She started changing. You know, she lost a lot of weight. Almost, she was looking like a smoker to me, to be honest.
I think all of them back then, they was the nickel bag of funk.
I'm not that kind of smoker though. We talking about New Jack City type smoker.
Oh man,
yeah, she had that voice though. She had that voice, just how she just flowed with it.
Man, her flow was sick, bro.
Yeah,
I swear it was. She says it was odd.
It was odd, and that's the best way to say it. I'm gonna have to check it out, Beer, because I'm like, I never heard a solo album. I have to check it out.
Their second album really didn't do that good.
Nah,
because for some reason they didn't sound the same. It's like they almost tried to change. They still had the little jazz tune, but they tried to change it up a little bit. But it just I say stick with what works for you. You know what I'm saying?
That though was so big, like.
Man,
how do you follow up on that? Like, I mean, they that's hard. It's when because it was so mainstream. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it
wasn't like it was like a hip hop track where it was just to that crowd. It went across. It went pop.
Yeah, it was smooth. I want to say my favorite song off of that album was, and they actually did the remix on the video, was Where I'm From. That was my jam right there. Where I'm from.
Yeah, I like that one too.
The video version.
Yeah, that it's. I know I had the album. I don't know where it is, but I know I have. I got so many over the years, and like I said, I got the Beat Street and all the way back to that, and I think 93 Snoop, Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
You see, you was going into a lot of gangster stuff or hardcore street music, and they came with a different twist, and it worked for one album, like I said, but after that, man, it's like it just kind of went down from there. So
they shot, and they basically they couldn't follow up. It's unfortunate, but.
So let me ask you this real quick. I know you do a lot of music and a lot of hip hop. So just real quick off the top of your head, if you can, who's your top five?
Top five. You know what?
Don't matter. And it changes. It changes every week for me almost.
Well, for me, and this is kind of by default because he's still alive and he was able to make the music. Jay-Z. I mean, how do you dispute it? I mean, he's been able to stick around and be relevant, for like almost 30 years. You know what I'm saying? So, but I love Big, Rakim, Nas. I love Pun, Big Pun, man. But these guys, they were taken so soon. And I love Pac. Of course, I love Tupac. But they all got their own own style, and it's hard. It's like, yo, man, it's like, oh, what's your favorite food? It's like pizza or I don't know, shrimp parmesan or something. It's like, damn, well, if you give me some shrimp parmesan, but I love pizza too. So it's like, but I think undisputedly Jay-Z wins, but we don't know if Big was alive, if Pac was alive.
Mm-hmm.
And Rakim, he man, yo, Rakim.
I love Rakim, man. He didn't have to go to a gangster rap route. He didn't have to do that stuff. And yo, man, Rakim is the man. Big Daddy Kane, Mm-hmm.
These are people I grew up on, and but a lot of people throw Big L. Big L's another one. It's tough because he was his life
wasn't around long.
And DMX, come on, man. He's I love DMX, and it was funny because I had gotten invited to a Puma party. This was a couple years when he almost passed away, or something happened in a parking lot. He got sick or something, and it was the night before he was supposed to perform. And I'm like, is he gonna make it to this? So my wife and I were like, it was really cold, and I had to drive into Manhattan. So I'm like, and it was like he was gonna come on to like 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, and I'm like, it was like 10 degrees below zero or something's crazy. I'm like, he's not gonna show up to this. He was in the hospital. They were saying he was close to death. And wouldn't you know, at like 1 o'clock in the morning, he came on. He showed up. He performed.
That's what's up.
And I missed that, and I'll never forgive myself for that. Like,
I
have respect for that man. I respect people that really wear their heart on their sleeve like that, and he does.
Yeah,
and I love DMX.
He battles with a lot of stuff every day. You know what I mean? He's not afraid. He's not afraid to tell you about it. But I'll be honest with you. I think, man, I bought every DMX album all the way up until Grand Champ. I think. I can't remember if he came out with any after Grand Champ, but yeah, every time he would come out with an album, I would get it.
The last one I had was The Great Depression. That was the last one DMX album I picked up. But to be honest, I really wasn't buying like that anymore. Even like past 1999, I really wasn't buying a lot of albums. Like I was buying albums, but it wasn't to the degree I was buying in the 90s.
Right.
You know what's funny though is one of my favorite albums of all time. It's not like an overly lyrical album or anything. Is Nore.
Oh, Nore.
Yeah. I love that album, man. I don't know what it is about it, but it's just from start to finish. It's just I love it. I don't know. It's the vibe. He's got Carl Thomas on there. He's got Buzz. I mean, he just has such a diverse sound. He's got Pun. You know, it's just such a well-rounded album. And like I said, it's not overly lyrical, but I just like it. To me, it's like it's a classic. I had like copies, 2 or 3 copies of that album. That's how much I liked it.
Yeah, I was a fan of that Capone Noriega album that came out the first
that
one.
Too.
Mm-hmm.
That was that.
What was that? War Report.
War Report.
Yes. Yeah.
Shout out to Chalkline. They're gonna be doing the. Did you guys see that Chalkline Capone Noriega
jacket?
Yeah, the War.
Nah, I haven't seen that one yet.
Sick. Yeah,
I'm sure Throwback King probably has though.
Don't they have a Ewing?
Yeah.
Don't they have a Ewing brand shoe? 33 high.
What Chalkline?
No.
Oh yeah. They did
Capone and Noriega. Yeah, with the War Report. Yeah.
To me,
I told you. You said it came out Monday.
They're hot. I told you. It's to me like I try to stick with the original colors. Like I don't try to veer from that. Like I said,
Right.
Wearing time is not, can't wear all these shoes all the time. So I try to stick with the colors that mean the most to me.
Exactly.
But they were hot. I like them, and I like and Capone. I got to meet him at that event, and he was real cool with my son, and he's a good dude too. So
yeah, I love watching Drink Champs, man. It's like they get people, in their element, man. I'll sit there and listen to, the Drink Champs interview all day.
They had one I saw. They had one I saw. I forgot who was on there. Who was on there?
Man, they have everybody on there, bro, and they have some classic interviews on there, bro. For real.
They do, and you know what it is? It's like real, like just regular. Like they know each other, they respect each other, and it's like, it's just not forced and nothing like that. So, and they're just cool dudes. Like, they're like very humble. Like they're not. Yeah. I mean, I'm not naming names. There's been some people I've met that were not very humble, but those are two humble dudes. Like I met Raekwon. He was super humble, yo. He was like you meet some of these guys that just like regular dudes. Like I mean, we're all regular. We're all people. We all we're all gonna die. We're all gonna but some people like feel like you're beneath them. And so,
because you got so much money, or you got the clout or whatever like that.
Exactly. And so like I can't rock with that, man. Like I could never. If I was a Bill Gates billionaire tomorrow, like I wouldn't. You gotta, human beings, like you gotta respect each other. Like can't unless I was doing something to, if somebody was doing disrespect me, then that's different. But or being a little too like aggressive with like stalker status, and that might be a turnoff. But other than that, man, you just gotta keep it low key.
Well, that's pretty much it for for the hip hop news. Real quick, I know we kind of getting ahead of ourselves, but you got any pickups for this week, Black?
I'm good.
Okay, I know you got a couple of them. Let me show my little one real quick. I picked these up. I got an alley oop. I picked up the plum dunks.
I like.
Yeah, these are. Oh man, they're very nice. The quality on them is beautiful.
What is that? Real suede?
Yeah, these are dope. These are dope. I love them. Somebody, one of my local friends, he had exclusive access on the Snickers app, and he looked out for me, gave them to me for retail. So
that's what's up, man.
Appreciate you. You know who you are. What you got? What you got for us, bro? What you got for us?
So I've been stocking up on the rivalries. They've been on sale. If you guys haven't picked them up by now, anybody out there, definitely look at that shape, man. That toe box. They went through a lot of effort. Shout out to Chris Law and the team at Adidas Originals. They went through a lot to get the shape like the OG. So I got this. These I have a spot out in Brooklyn. If anybody ever wants to hit me up for that location, I will give you that location because I really I support the owners over there. Their mom and pop shop. Try to keep them open as long as possible. But they got some old school stuff, and I got the little kid Shaqnosis.
Baby Shaqnosis.
That's the original OG box and stuff.
Wow,
those are kind of hard to find now. Like the kids version, I don't ever see them really showing up like that.
So they have stuff like that in they shop?
Yeah, they got all that. They got that LS. They got OG Fila's Fila tracksuits.
He said the name right, Black. He said the name right.
He said the name right. Yeah, exactly. We saying Elise. We thinking it was Elise.
Yeah. I got the Shaqnosis retro. I think they did a good job on these.
Is that real Hexalite?
The box came out. It's not OG box, but I like that little. Shaq is like one of my all-time favorite players. So, these are not recent, but it's recent for me because I try to cut back. But I got the 11s. They did a decent job on these. And I got these.
When you say you got pickups, you got pickups.
You got pickups.
Yeah, I try to get these sale pickups though. These were $40. Actually, I might have paid less. think I may have paid like 30 because they had to comp me because they messed up my order during Christmas. They had like 40% off another 30. So I think I might have got these for like $28. So this was a good buy.
That's a real deacon discount right there.
For real.
So and that's it for now. That's all I picked up recently.
Okay. So now we can get into the interview process of this show. Okay. But before we do, keep that rivalry out, the low, either colorway, because I'm gonna have a question for you later on in the show.
Okay.
So first off, my question to you is, how did you get Defy New York? Where did that come from? Where did that name come from?
It's funny because I had a poster. The matter of fact, it's the poster in his background, the for the Jordan 4. And if you look at that poster, I know there's some stuff blocking it. Spike Lee's hand was like, it says a death-defying 360 dunk or whatever, and it just highlights Defy. And when I saw that, and I was trying to come up with a name that was strong, short, nothing like crazy, and something that you would remember, I was like, oh, Defy. And I was like, and Defy means to be different, to be different. And so I went with Defy. And then New York, I'm from New York, so it was going to have a New York vibe, so I went with Defy New York.
Okay. So how did you start your, I guess you'll say your blog channel?
Yeah, so I just started that first. I was on WordPress and all that. And initially it was going to be, I was going to start, make a store, open up a shop out in New York. But then I was like around the financial crisis, and I was like, "Oh man, this is
not gonna work."
Yeah, it was looking bad. So I mean, I know everybody remembers that, and so I just started. I had all this old stuff like photographs, and catalogs, and I had magazines. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start writing about that stuff. Music and fashion and all that, and it kind of just evolved. Like I started small and just writing about certain things and things I wanted to share with people. And then it just kind of like one thing led to another, to this, to that. People found it, they liked it. And so it just kept evolving.
Okay. So how long have you been doing the blogging?
Oh man, 13 years. 13 years. Yeah, it's crazy. And Chris Vidal, I don't know if you guys have, you know Food Rap, right? Food Rap. He was actually he was the first person to comment on my site, and I didn't even tell him about it. I knew him. I had met him at Flight Club back in 2005 when they opened, and I had known him for a couple of years, but I didn't tell anybody really, that I was doing it. And he found me through a post I had made. Right. He didn't even know I was behind it at the time, so that was funny. He was the first one to make a comment on my site.
Now, what drew me to you was you made I'm looking at your YouTube channel. This was back in the day. This was way before I even got mine. I saw a video. I said, let me type this in. So I typed in Air Flight 89, and you did a video.
Yeah.
It wasn't a long video. It was just like straight and to the point.
Yeah.
And when you did it, I was like, I have never seen that hot fuchsia, hot pink colorway before. Or that hot orange, whatever. I'd never seen that colorway before.
Me neither. I hadn't. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was just saying, I said I gotta find that shoe, some kind of way. So that's how I end up finding this pair, because I was just looking for Flight 89 highs, because I haven't seen this shoe on anybody's feet or anybody showing it since 1990, 89, 90. So I had to find this shoe. And when I found it, I just went on the Soul Swap, and I can wear it to this day.
Yo, man, I'm still jealous of that. You and the other dude from Nike Talk, he has those too. And I'm like, I'll never find a size 13 in those ever, ever. I would definitely buy an OG to Soul Swap, but I can't find them. And the plastics on those hold up. A lot of the
hold up real good.
Plastics on the OG like Reeboks tends to fall apart.
Yeah, it falls apart. Yeah.
But on the Nike stuff, it tends to hold up. I'm like, damn, they use some good plastics on that.
They did something right back in the day.
Yeah, they did. So they didn't skimp out. They definitely didn't skimp out on that.
But
yeah, that colorway was I had found those on eBay. They showed up. I don't even think the person really knew what they had like that. They were, and I was like, wow. I was like, that's a crazy color. And then the pineapple. Well, they were supposedly pineapple exclusive. They were the colors of the record label that the Fat Boys were signed to.
Yeah.
Those had showed up, and it's funny because I could have got both of them for cheap, and I didn't buy them, but it didn't matter because they weren't my size. So, like I said, it doesn't matter how rare it was. Like I wasn't buying the stuff to do anything,
Right.
Enough shoes already. I'm like, yo, how many more am I gonna store? And it's just it gets out.
Hey man, we all hoarders at heart, man. We hoarders at heart.
I know. I see that. I try to combat that a little bit, because it can get out of hand.
Quick.
But you got a question about how?
No, man, go ahead.
So if I was to say, hey, you got one shoe that can be retroed, in your opinion, what shoe would it be? What brand?
One shoe.
And retro back to the OG standard, how we all want it.
Damn, man, it would be.
This goes for everybody on here. I do that.
I really want to see an OG military blue 4 come back with Nike Air. Really come back. But it's a hard one, but it's between that and the Flight 89 high you got behind you.
See, we on the same page, bro.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? With the military, the blue 4s, man, it seems like the two retros that they came out with, the 2006, to me, that was a straight pinky toe killer because the materials on it was so stiff. The midsole was so hard, it's like you was walking on cement.
Yeah.
So they came out the 2012 pair. The 2012 pair, it has the chipping, and the materials are still not on point. And I think that they will mess that shoe. Me personally, I think that they would try to get it close as far as like the material wise, but I don't think they will get close as far as just being the OG standard that we want, that we used to have back in the day.
You know what, man? If they can get them even halfway, don't put any colored air bubbles on it, and start doing dumb shit like that. It's like, come on, man. Why are we doing colored air bubbles on military blue 4s? And it's like, and just get the color right and get the shape kind of close and put some Nike Air that looks decent. I'll be all over it. Multiple. And I don't really do multiple pairs anymore. I will be all over that. I will buy probably 5 pairs of that shoe if they did that with Nike Air, because I've been waiting so long. And it's to the point now where I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should just get a 2006 pair and then swap out the heel tab and call it the day. Because we're not getting younger. Like eventually, I mean, what am I going to do? They're going to release it when I'm 90 years old? I'm like, but I can't. Oh, well,
Hey, you'll be walking on a cane, but you'll be fly, though.
You'll be fresh.
Man, I want to live with them things. I don't want to be sitting in a nursing home with them like, oh, I got those 4s. I really be thinking about this. So
who is that, your son's shoe?
Yeah, exactly. My son will probably stand right off my feet like, Daddy, give me those. You don't need those.
Some suspenders and dress pants and some Jordan 4s.
So,
I think for me, it can't. For me, it would be hard to do just one, because the white fire red 4s, for me, that was my first Jordan ever back in '89. So that would be one that I would want retroed. And then my second pair was the military 4s. So it would be between those two and the Flight 89 highs. So that's why I say, man, me and you, we here on that right there, man. The white fire red 4s, that's that shoe right there. I had that shoe when I was in the 8th grade. And yeah.
You were the man. Let me tell you something. Whoever had those shoes, I remember this one dude that I went to school with. His brother had taken him to school late and had picked up a fresh pair of the military blue fours. When he came strolling into class late with the military blue fours, we all huddled around him like, what the damn, we had never seen that colorway before. And I was like, damn. I mean, I think I had like the Twilight Zone pump at that time, and but it didn't. And I had the solo flights. I had the black and white solo flights.
Black and white.
But they were not seeing the military blue fours.
Nah, when you had them J's back in the day, like those right there, and we had a kid in our class that was wearing like the grade school sizes. So his parents would get him almost every Jordan that came out because they were cheaper. You know what I mean? Like for me, you know, I had to go around. I'm from the country. I had to go around with the lawnmower cutting grass. You know what I mean? Doing a little odd job, saving up my money, and probably putting the shoe on layaway. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Then having to go back and get the shoe. And then if you get that military blue 4, it don't matter what color outfit you got for me. If I had a green outfit on, you got to wear that military blue 4.
Well, see, that's how it was with the grapes too. Didn't matter what you wore, as long as you got them grapes on feet. You know,
and it's funny because I said this in some other interviews that my grandmother had bought me. She's always been there for me with the sneaker stuff, and she brought me the Agassiz back in the day, and she gave me the option, pick whatever you want off the wall. But at that time, like I was wearing a men's shoe. I was wearing a men's size 9. I was wearing a men's 9. I was like 9 years old at the time. So,
damn.
I was big. I was a big kid.
Damn.
So I'm like, I wanted the purple until 5, but they were $125, and I did want the Agassiz too, and they were a little cheaper, so I went with the Agassiz. But deep down inside, I wanted those grape until 5. So I was like, all right, I'll get the Agassiz. But I love that the Agassiz are my all-time favorite shoe. The Tech 2, the Tech Challenge 2.
Tech 2, yeah, okay. That was 1990 shoe.
And but the purple until 5 is like right behind that, you know. So every time I see the purple until 5, I'm like, I would have had that shoe OG. I would have been wearing them, but my conscience, I felt bad that my grandmother was spending over $100 for a pair of shoes, and my mother was gonna like kill me for that. And so I was like, you know what? You know, 9 years old, my grandmother would have bought it for me, you know, but I was just trying to do the right thing, you know what I'm saying, like as a kid. So, you know, at the prices back then, $100 pair of shoes was like,
that was a lot.
Like a
that
10.
That was a lot back then.
Now.
That's like a card note back in the day.
Oh man, so you know it was different times, very different times.
Most definitely was.
Let's see. For me, since you know y'all named numerous ones, so I'm gonna do that too. So my first one would be the Reebok Pump STS Cross Trainer.
Oh, that's SXT, the SXT.
Yeah, XXT. That's what.
Oh man, yo, let me tell you, because I think you've commented on my post about that to bring that shoe back. I heard they were support like Swiss was going to try to bring those back, and I don't know what happened to them. I think a sample had popped up somewhere, and then we never saw them again. Yo, man, that's another shoe, but. Damn, I wish you wouldn't have brought that up because now.
Hey, you gotta do some homework then, man. You gotta check into that now.
I've been pushing.
Man, the first time I seen that shoe was in the movie Juice.
Yes.
Well, when I saw it on Q Feet, when he was sitting on the bed talking to his little brother, when I saw that shoe, I was like, ooh. And then I went and looked. They actually had a black Charlotte Hornet colorway of that shoe too. I was like, "Oh my god, I gotta have that shoe, man." Now, they had one without the pump. Yeah, I'd rather have the one with the pump.
Yeah, they had a takedown model without the pump.
Right.
They had the first time I saw that shoe. Well, I saw it. I mean, the commercials and all that stuff. Remember when they did the skydiving? Mm-hmm. Doing all that. He jumped out of an airplane, and he was doing what is it called? Sky surfing. Mm-hmm. and then they did and then I remember my cousin, he had those, and I was so jealous. I was like, damn, them things are so sick. And he had them in that colorway, it's like a blue, like a weird
white, blue, and black. Yeah.
I was like, damn, I don't know what Reebok dropped the ball on not retroing that shoe for so many years. Like they lost so much money on that shoe. Not bringing it back.
They did what, the AXT? What
yes.
What was this? 2010? 20
yes.
Somewhere up in there?
Yeah.
And I heard that they didn't get good reviews on that shoe.
Well, the reason why they didn't is because they didn't use the OG pump on the shoe. Like they put a basketball pump on it. Like, yo, that's not a basketball shoe.
That's not a basketball shoe. It was a training shoe.
Yeah, it was if you look back in some of the old catalogs, it specifically said the AXT was a cross training shoe designed for runners. It was not a basketball shoe. Stop. Why would you throw a basketball pump on that shoe? Like, it boggles my mind. And it's not like they hadn't put the proper material on other pumps they had. So, that to me, that was a flop. And then they got the colorway of the turquoise one. They got that one wrong. They got the colorway wrong. So
it was way off.
Yeah.
So. And then they actually put like on the OGs, they didn't have the hexalite in the rear. It had it in the forefoot. But on these newer ones, they put them front and back.
I wouldn't have even been mad at that. Just at least get the shoe to look and fit properly. And that's another thing. It was, don't even bring the shoe back then. If you're putting a basketball pump on it, man, like what? Like that tells me you don't know your history.
Either that or they just didn't care.
Or it was a cost-cutting thing where they were like, well, Johnny, we have 10,000 basketball pumps in around. They're not, we can't just let them sit there. They're like, all right, but I don't believe that. I think they didn't realize that the material was a significant design characteristic, and they just put a basketball pump on it. Right. They felt like a basketball pump was going to sell more. So I don't know.
Yeah,
but that was a bad move.
Let's see. So I did the XXT pump. My second one would be the 1990 Air Flight 90s. I want those to come back out. Wishful thinking, but hey, I would love for that shoe to come back out.
Yeah.
They actually had 4 colorways of that, besides player colors. Let's see.
They had the white, orange, and was it white, orange, and purple, or white, orange, and blue?
No, you might be talking about solo flights because.
Nah, it was you talking about the flight. Wait, hold on. Because they had the flight. Because a lot of people call them the Flight 91s. Wait a minute. So Flight 90. Nah, those were the Flight 90s. I'm pretty sure they were Flight 90s. They had them. They were pretty basic. Okay, yes. I'm thinking of Flight 91s. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. You talking about the yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So I had the solo flights of that shoe because my mother wouldn't pay for air bubbles. And I'm like,
you gotta pay to see, baby. You gotta pay to see it.
So in 2004, I had that shoe in white and black. And I bought them brand new off eBay. And I wore them into the city. And I wore them into all the boutiques. I wore them in a Supreme and all that stuff. And people were looking at me like I had 2 heads on. And they held up for maybe a couple weeks, and then they started crumbling. And I was like, no. I wanted to cry, because they were mint. But
I love those shoes right there.
Coming back.
I love those. Another one that I would like to retro would be the Air Force 5 highs.
Huh.
I would love for that shoe to retro again. I got 4 pair here, I think.
Yeah, I seen your white and the white and green, right? White and green ones.
No, those are the 91s or the Air Force 6s.
No, you didn't have them white and green though?
I got white and reds.
You got white and red. Okay, I had them in white and purple. I had They were PEs. They were signed by who they signed by? I want to say, was it Dan Marley? I don't even remember. But I had the flight, because see, back in the day I had the Ultra Force, which was a takedown model of that one.
Yeah, without the air bubble.
3 1/4 cut. And then there was the one with the non-visible air, but you had the one with the visible air, which was like, yeah, you had those back in the day. You were balling out.
Got the box. These little skinny ass boxes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, the lows, and they made them in those solid colorways. You know.
Yeah, I want the black ones like this, and I want the
white and black too. The white and black, the highs.
I actually got the high nose. Let me pull those out real quick. No, I don't. I think those are in the house. Hold on.
Yeah. I thought you had the white and green ones of those too. I thought I saw a picture of those in white and green.
Nah, those are the 91s. The Air Force 6s, the ones after this.
They retroed the Ultra Force load in 2008. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
How random was that? And then they gave up after like 2 or 3 colorways.
I seen a all white pair. I seen a white and black and red pair, and I don't know what the third pair is.
But it was like, yo, why would you bring those shoes back? Like, what if you're gonna do it? Why would you bring those colorways? The colorways was completely off. Like, and it was just like, it was so random, so random. So when they did the Command Force pumps, it was like, all right, I forgive you.
But they still pinky toe killers too.
Oh my god, it was terrible. Not as bad as the 11 for me. The 11 was worse, but yeah, they're pretty bad. They squeak too, and I don't wear them enough for them not to rub and squeak. So
let me see. I got 2 more, and then we can move on. The 87 Air Assault highs.
I know
you. Oh yeah, I remember those. And the 87 Alpha Force ones.
Yo, the Alpha Force was definitely those, and the Reebok BB 4600. Those were like the 2 shoes that I remember as a kid that really stood out. I don't know why the Alpha Force, because I had the knockoff version back in the day when I was a kid, the Olympian version. And I love those things. Love them. I used to, when I would run, I would look down at my feet and back. Like, I think if I saw myself do that now, I'd be like, you all right? Like, so now, like, that's what I was doing. I was staring at my shoes. But that shoe, classic.
That's what's up, man. I think that's all I got as far as that. You got any more questions, Pop, you want to ask?
No, I pretty much asked him what I wanted to ask him about about hip hop, his top 5. Well, I guess I could ask you, what do you think about today's state of hip hop?
I do like it. It's because if I want to enjoy overly lyrical hip hop, it is like, what is it? What the hell is that? Zelda's putting out. If you want that gritty, like really raw hip hop, it's there. Like you can purchase it, you can listen to it. I also appreciate the pop rap. Like I can appreciate some of it, but I think it's it's just evolved, and we're not gonna see the days of where you had guys that really like you couldn't sit in your room by yourself and make music and then pop off because you used fake influencers or fake algorithms to make yourself appear like an influencer, and all. You couldn't pop off like that. You wanted to pop off back in the day, you had to be out there, you had to be grinding, and the dudes that was really about that life had to approve of you. Otherwise, you would be called out. Like, yeah, you had people slip through the crack like Vanilla Ice, and like MC Hammer, and even Hammer. Like, I can appreciate some of his music. Like back, even still to this day, I listen to it. Reminds me of being a kid and stuff. But there's artists that I do like nowadays, and like I said, ASAP Rocky is probably my favorite. He tends to do things that if I was managing an artist, I would say, yo, you should try this, or you should try that, or you should sample from this, or you should sample from that. And I've had people, reach out to me about like, oh yeah, I like this or I like that. What's this music? Or what? So, because growing up in New York, I heard all types of music. And the town that I grew up in Freeport, New York, very, very diverse town. I mean, we had any and every everybody from every cultural background you could even imagine. I mean, we had people that had come from Africa that they had to hire teachers, a specific teacher, to speak their language. Like it was just very diverse, Asian, everything. I mean, Hispanic, Black, everything. So picked up on that. Like I can't just listen to rock music or just listen to rap or just listening to hardcore rap or I listen to everything, and I listen to it like a little bit more obsessively than maybe the average person. Will I say I'm like the most expert on every genre of music? No, I'm not the most expert. There's just so much music out there to digest. But I really love music, and I really love all of it.
Yeah, I listen to. I was kind of like the same way. I listen to a lot of different varieties of music, and I kind of grew up on a lot of New York hip hop. But I remember like the Tears for Fears, and music back in the day like that. You know what I mean? And I was kind of like the same way.
Well, it's funny because I grew up in Freeport, and Flavor Flav, he's from Freeport, and Chuck D was from Roosevelt, which bordered Freeport, and so Public Enemy was huge, and I was young. For me to really grasp what Public Enemy was doing at that time and that era and what they stood for, I don't think at that time I fully grasped it. I did like the music, but what is a 9-year-old kid really gonna understand? Like, I mean, I knew way more at 9 years old than a 9-year-old child I think knows now, as far as racism and things along that lines. Because I went to school, and it was a lot of the people I was going to school with were dealing with some really grown up stuff,
right?
Yeah,
some crazy stuff. Not like nowadays they try to filter that stuff out. Back then they weren't filtering this stuff out. So but it's just back then, man. Public Enemy was really, really, really a big part of I mean the area, because they were from the area, so
right.
But it wasn't just them, Big Daddy Kane and all that. And I had an older sister. I have an older sister that she'd bring her male friends by, and they would talk to me, and we would listen to music, and freestyle music was big in New York, and so you had that, and you had the house music. People don't realize, like, everybody was making house tracks back then. Everybody had like at least one house track on their album, except for like a Public Enemy. But Queen Latifah, LL Cool J, all those guys. They
Heavy D, yeah.
Heavy D, I love Heavy D, man. He was.
I'm gonna tell you, it's funny that we brought up Heavy D, but one of my favorite tracks that he did was "Don't Curse." That's one of my favorite tracks of all time. That track right there had an all-star cast on that track, bro.
Yeah, listen, man. They were doing stuff back then, and it was like they weren't. I don't feel like they were doing stuff that was dope. Not to say people aren't doing dope stuff now, but I feel like
I think it was more genuine back then.
It was genuine. It wasn't like they were like, oh well, let's look on Google and see what's trending right now. Let's make a track that's going to be trending. It was like, oh, let's just make something that's dope. Let's just do that, and that's what they did. And now here we are, still listening to that stuff.
I think the music back in the day is more relatable to us than the music of now. of this generation, because you know a lot of the scenes that these kids have on these tracks that they have is not the same sayings that we used to have back in the day. You know, we used to listen to, like I said, you know, I grew up on New York hip hop, like you said, hop. That's how I started in the whole hip hop game. Because at the time, New York hip hop that was the mother child. You know, that's what brought us to just listening to hip hop. Fat Boys, Run DMC, Houdini, Kumo D, Cool J. You know, all these people that came out back in our era, and then it seemed like it was a different genre coming out every 3 years. It seemed like with me. So you had like the
this is I know you if you guys don't have it yet. Who Shot Ya? It's by Ernie Paniccioli. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but he the flicks in him, man, a classic. Got it's like, you know, he did a lot of the
Money Love.
Yeah, like all the photographs from
TLC Kid and Play
in hip hop. So this is a good book to pick up. But then what I liked about this one right here is it's because it's New York City nightlife. I picked this up a couple years ago. Is No Sleep, and they show all the old flyers from back in the clubs back in the day, and you know, all that artwork, like Eric B and Rakim and all that. And so I'm trying to think what else.
That's one thing that I miss, man, is like looking through an album to see who produced what, who wrote what. And I just miss stuff like that, man.
And most of the time they came with the actual words to the songs too.
Yeah.
You know, if you
Sometimes
get a song
they
that
came
has
with
the
lyrics,
words to the
yeah.
song. Yeah. You know, stuff like that. Because now people are not buying CDs. Everything is downloaded now.
Yeah, they're streaming everything.
So you're not getting the actual experience that we had back in the days. You know,
Nah, you're not connecting with the music the same way.
Nah.
Yeah.
Do you agree with what he said right here? Soldier Kicks.
And rap used to be more hungry because they had to travel more. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Like, you had to really be about that life.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like comedians, how comedians had to do. You know, in order for them to get the shine or get that notoriety, they had to hit that road and just, you know, be hungry, taking $100 for a show and sleeping in their cars, you know, stuff like that, man. It's I mean, the 90s, the late 80s and early 90s, man, like you said, to me was my genre. And the thing that changed for me as far as music wise is when Outkast came out with their first album in 1994.
Yeah.
Southern Playalistic, man. To me, that changed my whole perspective of just listening to music, because it was always New York and West Coast. But when we had somebody that actually came to the South and like blew up, it was like a whole new ball game then, man. Because Outkast came out and they got on the Source Awards and they was like, the South got something to say. It was like an instant, like, okay, I need to start paying attention now.
Yo, the South, I say around, Outkast, you could not deny them. You couldn't deny them. They're just too talented. And they brought a unique sound to hip hop. While hip hop was starting to go more mainstream at that, you know, during that period. So it was a good timing for them. But they you know, once like the late 90s came around, it was like a wrap. For New York, hip hop was still around, of course, but that was the shift. Master P, now all those, you know, the No Limit, they came in and they were like, yo, Bad Boy, what? I'm supposed to take over.
But you know what? We honestly, we had sleepers in the South before Outkast. You know, we had 8 Ball and MJG because they was doing their thing before Outkast. And you know, you had the Ghetto Boys. You know, they was doing their thing. I feel like we kind of, but the South back then was mainly known for like the booty shaker music. You know what I mean? Because they would look at 2 Live Crew and Poison Clan, and they would say, you know, like 95 South and all them boys, you know, making that booty shaking music. And I think they slipped over 8 Ball and MJG, because I think 8 Ball and MJG is probably one of the most underrated groups.
I agree.
Probably ever. You know what I mean? I see old Soldier Kick said Tupac was one of the first to write all his raps. Now, back in the day, in the late 80s and 90s, they took pride in writing everything. There was no such thing as ghostwriters back then. And if you was labeled a biter or somebody that, other than like maybe like Puff Daddy, like the producer, they wasn't fooling with you, man.
No.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, just the music changes over time, man. Like he said, when 99 hit and the South like really started exploding, man, you saw like the decline. I think the decline came when Biggie passed. That was like the beginning of it. You know what I'm saying?
It. You know what though? But I feel like it was a period where we were like, I know in New York we felt lost, and Pun came along, and DMX dropped his album, and then so you have Pun, Nori. They kind of picked up the slack, after he passed, and for a short period, you felt like, all right, man, everything's gonna be okay. We're gonna get past this. We're gonna, and then Pun dies, and then, it's like I think people just started like, then that's when the Southern sound, it's like it just took over. Like everybody's trying to make a Southern track. Like what's wrong with that? People down south weren't always trying to make New York tracks. They made their own sound, their own unique sound. Same for the West Coast. And when everybody started trying to make the same music, it kind of got whack. Not that Southern music was whack, but it's like, yo, my man, you can make something that does not sound exactly like the next dude,
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. It's like, when they run up on something that's making music, they just oversaturate it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're like, oh, well, look, this song made $1 million. Let's make another bootleg version of it and make $500,000. So just got whack, got whack.
Yeah, it did, man. It did. I mean, but you had your goods and your bads with, the whole hip hop era. I think when Nelly came in, he kind of changed it a little bit too, because now you got a lot of harmonizing rap that actually, was big. Because first was Bone Thugs when they came out with like 93-ish, 94-ish, somewhere in there.
94, yeah.
And then you had Crucial Conflict that came after them.
Conflict.
From Chicago. And then a lot of people a lot of the younger people didn't know Twister came out in our era. You know what I'm saying?
He just didn't pop off really like that.
Yeah.
He didn't get big until that Kamikaze album.
Well, when Twister first came out, I thought he was part of Do or Die. You remember he was on that Do or Die track. Do you want to ride?
He was.
Yeah.
He was that one little verse, and he didn't come back out until since.
Right.
I mean, he did. He probably was like maybe local in Chicago or something like that, but nothing to that magnitude of a song or an album anyway. So
yeah, I don't think it was till he got really with Kanye that he really started blowing up.
Exactly. Like I said, that Kamikaze album, man. When he came out that Kamikaze album, and then he had that song with Kanye. Yeah.
Yeah, Overnight Celebrity.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, man, it's definitely changed. But I appreciate today's music too. Like I'm not one of these dudes that's just gonna be like, oh well, all I listen to is hip hop from 1990s. Like I don't do that.
I saw recently where Lil Nas X has a song with Nas. Have you heard that?
Nah, I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, he's got a song.
Salute to Nas for
Yeah, he took it in. And it's.
They actually played that on what was that? The Oscars or the Grammys? I think. One of them award shows.
They, I can appreciate. Like I said, I can appreciate the music for what it is. I'm not. There's some songs that hit, and it's like, oh, that's not bad, and. But you have to do more digging for the music nowadays. And there's a lot of obscure music that's out there, experimental music that is out there, but it's like you just gotta dig for it. You can't, like, back in the day, the gatekeepers for the radio made it a little bit easier to find quality hip hop. Mm-hmm. Nowadays it's like, they can't just do whatever they want. Like if you read Angie Martinez's book, I mean, they had like free reign back in the day. This was like new, and they like Funk Flex, Angie Martinez, they were authentic. So give authentic people free reign, and what are you going to get? You're going to get authentic music. You're going to see the lifestyle represented authentically, and that's what we saw. And then as it became bigger business and more money and advertisers and this person's hand in the cookie jar, then it just starts to fall apart. And it's not always terrible, but it gets watered down after a while, Yeah,
it does, man. It does. Quickly before we actually get up out of here, I got a quick story about ASAP Rocky.
Okay.
My cousin, she stayed in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. She recently, I ain't gonna say she recently. She moved back down here, which I stay in Mobile, Alabama. She moved down here. Let's see, maybe 2011. And in the midst of her being up there, she met Rakim Morris, which is ASAP Rocky daddy.
Yeah.
So, quick story, ASAP Rocky is more like I guess you say like a second or third cousin to me.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
That's insane. Well, if you ever talk to him, you could tell him Defy New York says we're big fans. But
I got you.
I got you. ASAP, he's different. Like from the beginning, I love this music. I gravitated towards it because it didn't sound like anything that was going on, like that was being made at the time. And him and what's the other dude? I'm drawing a blank right now. Danny. What the heck is his name? Hold on. I'm drawing a blank. Hold on. I'm gonna Google his name because I know it. Let's see. Danny Brown. All right. So him and Danny Brown were popping off at the same time, and I was like, yo, these dudes are making different music, different hip hop than what most people are used to hearing,
right. But
it sounded authentic. Like it sounded like raw, different, something that was refreshing and
something new and fresh.
Yeah. So I saw him singing recently, ASAP Rocky, and I'm like, yo, I love this. I love that this dude is evolving, willing to take risks, do things different. So yeah, salute to him.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. I was kind of shocked that I found out he was like, like a second or third cousin to me. So
yo, get on that what is it? That 23andMe and all that stuff, and you'll find all types of people. You probably be second and third cousin. That's crazy.
Hey, you never know, man. You never know.
No.
You got anything else, Hop?
No, sir. That's pretty much it.
All right. One more thing.
Yes.
I told you to keep the rivalries right near you.
Yeah.
All right. I want to show the shaping of each shoe. Okay, so that's the new retro of the rivalry. That's the OG shaping. Now I'm showing the 2001 retro of the Altitude.
Yeah. They need to remaster that shoe too.
And see, this one here has way better leather than my 2014 pair. It's like they kind of just threw some out with this 2014 pair. And like you said, look at the toe boxes. That's crazy. Look how short that toe box is on mine.
They went through they went through great lengths to get this right. So Shout
Now,
out to them for doing that.
I wonder if they went through what's his name, Ernie Punk on
They did.
Instagram.
They
They did.
They 1,000,000% did. Yep. They took some of his shoes and to recreate the original shape, and
So
it it takes time to get this kind of a shape. It takes time because they have to communicate with the factories and say, oh, nah, this is not right. You got to send it back, and then and then they send back another sample and they say, all right, well, the measurement's off. Well, we got to do this again. But a lot of these companies, I think they're like, well, it's good enough. Just throw it out. People will buy it. We're gonna make money. That's the end of the story. And it's not.
right.
It's a passion project for them. But for this shoe, this was a passion project for them. And Chris Law over there, who I met a couple times, and he's very passionate about sneakers, like, and getting them done right. And I think Adidas in general has been. Pays more attention to detail than Nike. Although with the air pressure retro, remember the one that came in the OG box, the big plastic box? They did a pretty good job on that one. So it's just, I guess it depends on who's working on these shoes. And they don't have, you can't put a 22-year-old in charge of a shoe that came out all those years ago unless they really know why this shoe is important and why you should bring it back. Not just to make numbers, or just
Exactly.
because so they got to get these employees right. That's the main thing.
Well, see, that's like I said, that's the difference. Like you said, you had somebody that actually had the tooling for the shoe you got in your hand, but this one here was just something that they probably went off a picture, and a 22-year-old, like you said, was in control or in charge of it. So, I mean, I love the shoe, but it's just.
Yeah.
I can't wear it for a long period of time, but I bet you can wear that one that you got for a long period of time.
Yeah, it's nice. This is a nice shoe. With that $28, man, you can't beat that.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
No,
And
not
the
at
leather is
all.
good on it too.
But I'll be honest, I don't always go just for the cheap. Like when that Knicks colorway came out, I bought it at full retail. Even though I got it at cheap, but I bought it for full retail because they did right by it, so I supported that.
Yeah, I want the high. I still want the highs in that.
You got to get those, definitely.
Yeah, I know, man, and that's my squad too, so I gotta get them.
Oh yeah, Knicks. We're never gonna win that championship though.
Nah, I'll probably be dead and gone before they win, man.
We all will be.
They need to get rid of James Dolan, man. They really do.
Man, that's for another topic.
Exactly. We can talk about this for about another hour. But it's funny you say the air pressures. That's like my all-time favorite shoe right there. And I do have the OG and I have the 2016 retro.
The OG probably fits better. It fits a little bit better.
I haven't put my foot in it.
Oh man, it's time. It's time. It's definitely time to do that.
We got Cali Vegas in the house. Appreciate you for stopping through, man.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That's another OG alumnus right there. He the one turned us on. I started talking about the low top shoes. He liked the low top shoes, and he showed us the rivalries that you got.
Yeah.
And it was like the shape, man. It's crazy on there, and the leather. Like I went to a Jimmy Jazz, and I felt the leather. I was like, man, I gotta get these, man. Shit. I gotta get them. Soft leather, soft buttery leather, man.
Oh yeah.
But man, we really appreciate you for coming through, spreading knowledge to the people in our chat. If you're not following on IG, Defy New York, please do check him out on IG at Defy New York. And he also has a YouTube page. When you gonna start making YouTube channel?
More
YouTube videos.
It's funny, man. I got a lot of videos that I've already done. I just haven't uploaded them yet. But I got so much stuff to upload. It's like, well, how am I gonna work this out? Like it's like almost too much content, and it's like you're like, all right, well, you don't want to just pour it out at the same time, and it's like taking the time to upload it properly and all that. So I'm gonna definitely get back to more YouTube videos. I feel like the YouTube videos are probably easier because I can talk more, I can be more expressive instead of just sitting there typing. I have a lot of catalogs to scan and all that, and that's tedious. You know,
Exactly.
archival, and then and then you want to do it for people that are gonna appreciate it. And so yeah, all that stuff's coming. But yeah, probably the YouTube videos. I actually excuse me, a good friend of mine who I grew up with, he's actually been doing some videos for me as of recent. You probably seen him, my man Los. Shout out to him. So even Fat Boy Snacks, his brother, I would love to get him, involved somewhere down the line. Maybe we can all get together and do something special.
His brother is mean on the videos.
Oh man, he did. Yo, when I first saw his Jersey video, I was like, damn, man. I was like, that dude. He immediately. I thought I was watching a music video. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, the videos will be coming. Stay tuned for that. I know. Like I said, I don't buy followers. I don't do any of that. I know a lot of these other blogs, they pop up and they go from 3,000 or 2,000 to like 100,000. It's like, yo,
exactly.
I can't do that to myself. I can't.
Nah, you're not being true to yourself when you do that, man.
Yeah. We feel you on that, bro. We feel you.
I know a lot of people have said that there's other sites feeding off you, and I know that for a fact. There's a lot of sites that have feeded off my content and whatever, but I just can't. I can't do that, But yeah, if the videos will be coming up, and I appreciate everybody who has definitely supported me for all these years, man. It's always been appreciated, and that's what keeps me motivated to keep doing it. Otherwise I would have been probably just annoying my family with my sneaker talk.
I even follow you on your Facebook, your Facebook too, man.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Well, you guys got to follow me on my personal page too. You got to follow me on. I don't know I think you might follow me.
Yeah, I do. I do.
Yeah, but he's got to follow me too. We gotta, we gotta link up or whatever.
Oh, we'll make that happen. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you guys for having me though. I truly do.
Go ahead and shout out all your stuff, man, to where people can contact you.
You can follow me, of course, DefyNewYork.com, DEFY New York, NEWYORK.com. You can also do DefyNY.com because I got that thinking maybe somebody's gonna jack that and try to, so I have that. You can follow me on Instagram at Defy New York, and that's spelled out DEFY NEWYORK, and Defy New York on YouTube. You can follow me on there, and you can even Google my name, Scott Frederick. I did I appeared on Madison Square Garden, did Sneaker Week. You can check out that video. I talk about some of my shoes, and that's really it. I got the Facebook page at Defy New York, and that's it for now.
We need that petition to come out now.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
petition that Flight 89 high.
I got it going still. I still got it.
Yeah, I know.
Now we just need to, I know some of Kanye's people follow me, and I know they got some clout over at Nike. So go check out my petition, bring it to one of the higher ups, and let's get some Flight 89s.
Yeah, let's make this happen.
Highs, not these lows. I'm done with them.
Not the lows. Man, the recent lows are trash. Trash. I bought it because I thought that it was gonna be done right.
Nah, straight booty.
That's another story. You know what I'm saying? That's another story.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys for having me. I really do.
Oh man, appreciate you. You're definitely gonna come back for another special guest on another episode, man. So you are more than welcome, man.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate what you're doing for the real sneaker culture, not this clout chasing sneaker culture.
We trying, man. It's a passion that we got. That's it. That's all I can say.
Absolutely,
it's a passion.
Absolutely.
Go ahead and shout your stuff out, Hop.
Well, Hop Dog 18 on IG, and right here with my bro Black on Retro Talk Forum. Once again, bro, man, we appreciate you coming through, bro, and thank you for sharing your knowledge. We definitely gonna have to have you back on, and just appreciate you coming on and blessing us, bro. Appreciate it.
You guys having me, truly, really, I do. And
yes,
I do look forward to coming back and talking because we could probably talk for Days.
No doubt. No
Yeah.
doubt.
All right. Peace out, everyone.
Yes, sir.
All right, bro.
That was a good one. But I am a Black Ass African. You can catch me on Retro Talk Forum and my YouTube page and my Instagram, all under Black_AZ_African. We appreciate everybody that pulled up in the chat. We still got 7 in the chat. Appreciate you. Go hit that like button for us if you like what we're doing. If you like the guests, like I said, also go shout him out. Go follow him. Go support him on his channels and all the things that he's doing at Defy New York. He has a Facebook. He has Instagram, and he has a YouTube page. So go check him out, man. He has dope stuff on there. If you like nostalgia, 80s and 90s stuff like we do, you'll love his page. Shout out to Beer Jedi at liftheavyclothing.com for the shirts. Appreciate you, bro. I was very surprised with these. I love them. Speechless. That's all I can say. I'm speechless, man. I'm humble, and thank you for just thinking about us on these shirts, man. It was a
Facts.
total surprise.
Facts.
I always say this about you: when you come out with something, you never cease to amaze me, and that's in a damn good way. You're my brother, and I love you. I love everybody in the chat that came through. I love my bro Hot Dog 18, man. Hey, we're Retro Talk Forum, and with that being said, I'm Black Ass African.
Hot Dog 18.
Retro Talk Forum, and we out. Peace.